Boo boo ba doo doo.
Mana
Do 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 do.
mana.
Boo boo ba doo doo. Ba doo doo ba doo doo doo.
Mana. Have you been watching Rick and Morty? Like all the new stuff?
No.
Have you watched any of Rick and Morty?
Yeah. Watched the first two seasons, but I haven't watched. I watched the first episode of season 3 with the Szechuan sauce.
Oh yeah,
It's awesome.
it's all about the Szechuan sauce, Morty. No, yeah, so I've been watching it, and it's so good. It just keeps getting better and better.
I'm really gonna get on that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure your favorite episode will be Pickle Rick.
I keep hearing so much about Pickle Rick, and it's fun to say, and I like the way it looks. It's hilarious.
It's just a fucked up, stupid episode, but I love it. He becomes like a pickle ninja.
A
pickle ninja.
pickle ninja. Okay.
Pickle ninja, and starts destroying rats.
I'm in.
It's so good.
I'm in.
And then what else does he do? There's the newest episode was like called Rick and Relaxation, and it was about them going to a spa and getting all the toxins out of their body.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were so toxic that their toxins were like an entity of their own and got trapped in the toxin world. And then so that's like the asshole part of Rick and the like wimpy part of Morty, and it's just so good because they try to like come back and take over. It's good. You have to watch.
I'll watch it. Don't worry.
I mean, all the episodes good. The Jerry episode, like it's just an random episode where he just took Jerry on an adventure with him instead of Morty. But it was good too. But of course, Jerry's a butt.
A butt.
He's a butt.
A big old butt.
A big old butt full of nut.
Whoa, a nut butt.
A nut butt.
Whoa.
So you should probably have some of this at the beginning, just so people hear what we ramble about.
I might throw that in there this time.
Okay, welcome guys to another episode of Nerdify.
Nerdify. Oh wait, we didn't sync that up.
Oh.
Nerdify.
Nerdify. Okay, just next time. We'll get it next time.
Yeah, we'll like count down from 3 or something. So Regie.
Hold on. I just want to say, it's been way too fucking long, James.
It really has.
We've missed a week.
We did. It
What
sucks.
kind of terrible people are we?
We're terribly busy people.
I mean, how many people were just sitting on Tuesday all day waiting for that one episode to come out?
I think I heard some people cry.
Yeah. I mean, it was audible. Like,
Yeah.
everyone at work was just like, do you hear crying? Like, who's crying?
Speaking of that, Audible, if you're listening, we will totally accept you as a sponsor. I like audio. I'm listening to it right now on audiobook. Not on your service because you aren't sponsoring us. But
Sponsor us and maybe I'll use your ass.
exactly.
Okay?
Yeah, I wanted to, but you're too expensive because
And I'm listening to it on audiobook too, actually, to prep
Really?
for the movie. Yeah, because I was
same
like,
one I am with the old dude.
Yeah, the
it's
old
so-
like 1980s version
so
that you can
good.
still hear like the cassette hiss in the background.
I love it so much. I think
It's
I want to listen to
great.
all audiobooks like that.
I've heard that the new one, Steven Weber, is the one who narrated the newest version, and I've heard people say it's really fucking good. I want, like, they have a sample on Audible, but it's only of the section whenever it's at the very beginning of the book, whenever Georgie is running down the road next to it, just before they get into the part where they talk about Bill making the boat and everything.
Right.
So what I want to hear is him do it, you know?
Right.
Because I'm like, is it going to be creepier? Because I don't know the name of the guy who's doing the one right now that we're listening to, but I would say that he does voices, and his like clown it was all right.
Yeah.
But once he got into the more like monstrous it, whenever he was just like, we all float down here, George. Like, I was like, ooh, that was good.
Yeah. I think that's why I picked him, just for that voice, because the rest of his voices don't really vary that much.
Yeah.
I think you put more effort into it.
Yeah, as the kid, you can kind of hear him like pitch his voice up a bit. And you could hear the difference between like Bill and Georgie, but just ever so slightly, which is fine. But yeah, I mean, I think his It will be very creepy. I'm really curious as to what Steven Weber's sounds like. Also, this will be the longest audio. I've listened to several audiobooks, but this will be the longest one by far. This is 44 hours.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
See,
44 hours.
I downloaded mine.
In order to listen to it all before the 8th, we have to listen to an average of 5 hours over the next 9 work days, including today.
Shit.
5 hours a day.
That's not going to happen.
But
I'm not going to finish it.
If you include weekends, then it makes it a little easier. So if you just take a few hours during the week, how much time do you listen to it on the way to work?
Oh yeah, it's like half an hour
there and back.
Minutes.
So you get about an hour, right? Mm-hmm. So it's only about 3 to 4 hours you got to listen to at work. How much do you listen to at work?
Not a whole lot, but I'm going to listen to it more. Not a whole lot. Now when I'm trying to figure out times that I bring headphones and whatnot. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of times that I can, so I'll get to it. Okay. I'm gonna kick it up a notch because I have to finish it before.
Yeah, and even whenever you're at home, it's good to just while you're cooking or washing dishes.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Chilling.
Like earlier, Meridian took a nap, and I just had it on while she was napping. Turned the TV off. And it was actually a lot more creepy that way because nothing was going. There's no noise in the house. Yeah, just a sleeping baby that I had to protect from this clown.
Yeah, see, I've got a lot of time at work because I sit in front of a computer because we're doing so much documenting and everything that I can just put it on and I listen to it, 3 or 4 hours. Like today already, let me see, I've already got 3 hours in.
Oh, nice.
So, not as much as I wanted to, but, I mean, I'll be able to catch up because I also, I'll listen to it on the way to work. I listen on the way to your house. I'm going to be driving 3 hours to Fayetteville here on Friday to visit my brother, and so I'll have plenty of time there.
How far are you?
Huh?
How far are you right now?
So I'm at the end of the chapter. Oh, no, I'm now at the part where they're talking about Ben in the 1980s. So have him as an architect.
Oh, okay. So I'm a little bit further than you. I'm where they're still going through all the adults' backstories. And I'm on Bill right now.
Yeah, so I've gone through Stanley, Richie. Right, that's his name, right?
Yeah, Regie.
Regie, and right now in Ben. And so I don't. Yeah.
Who's the girl?
Bev.
Bev. Oh my God, hers. I just got done with hers. We're now into Bill, but hers was a lot better in the book. Well, they're all so far a lot better than the book, but hers in particular was extra heart pounding and creepy. I mean, not even when she was a kid. Is when she was getting away from her abusive husband. Mm-hmm. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
She's going ham.
Even Stanley's. Like you said, you told me you're like, oh, Stanley's suicide was way worse.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I mean it's how descriptive. The miniseries was super tame. It was a little bit of blood on the wrist and just on the wall, but this was way worse. And then also the little story that they do before they go into the adults that is one of the modern day killings from it. About the 2 gay guys that get attacked and then one gets pushed over into the canal.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And, they kind of, the more they talk about it and then just, the whole thing of just, this visual of it just grabbing this,
just dragging him.
And it's dragging him. And
look, I'm getting chills right now in the back of my head just thinking about it. Oh, my God.
He pulls his arm back and then just, bites into his armpit and, rips out chunks of it. And he's just telling the other guy out there, he's just like, we all float down here and blah, blah, blah.
Stop, Reggie, stop.
And then it's just thousands of balloons along the ceiling of the canal.
I can't wait for the rest. I'd actually forgotten about that part because I'm thinking about Bill. But you brought that back and instantly just chills.
I got chills right now. It's so good, and I'm telling you, it gets way more fucked up. And
stop.
It's good.
I want to stop and listen to it right now.
It's so good. I know, right? Now fuck this podcast. Let's go listen.
But no, okay. So what I was going to say earlier is. Reggie,
after 8 minutes of bullshit.
We just crossed the threshold in the double-digit episodes, which I'm super excited about. I didn't want to say anything on the episode number 10 because I didn't want to jinx it, and then it not edit it and not come out and we just quit. And so I wanted to wait until we got that one done, and we were so it's safe to say now that we're in double digits, and we've crossed that threshold, and I'm very proud of us. Good job. Good job, us.
Oh, yeah. No, hey, totally 110% all the way to episode, what is this, 10?
This is 11.
This is 11.
This is 11.
Oh, my God.
10 was the last one.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we were just like, 10, whatever, double digits.
But yeah, I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to say it.
I mean, it is funny because you didn't say anything, and then we missed a week.
Yeah, see? If I had said something, it would have been a lot worse if I said something.
Be like, oh, man, we got to episode 10 2 years later. So, welcome to episode 11. You probably don't remember us. We might as well just start a new podcast.
Episode 1.
Episode 11.
We reviewed the golden years.
I remember back in times. Remember that one time we did 10 episodes of a podcast? It was great. Had like 3 listeners. It was amazing.
Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about this week is... so today, I told you a few weeks ago, or about a week ago, that I had a surprise episode that I didn't want to tell you anything about. I just wanted to jump into it and explain it and then have your honest reaction on that. And then today I was reviewing what I was going to go over. I'm like... This isn't going to work unless he knows a little bit. Yeah, so I remember you mentioned it, and then I was like, oh, okay, this sounds interesting. And then you're like, okay, you're going to need to watch these 10 YouTube videos. Yeah. And I was like, okay, and I went and watched it, and I'll have to say, at the end of it, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I know.
Because oh my God. I'm just getting into it, and then I was just like, well, okay, what is this? This is weird. I was just like, some game that some dude is talking about. That's kind of weird. And
so what we're talking about is the Petscop series on YouTube. Now, I kind of watched it backwards from you. I learned about it recently on a channel that I watch, and they did a theory on it, going over the whole history of it, and then what they think is happening and whatnot. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I got really interested in it, and I started watching it, and that's when I realized you needed to know a little more than what you did. So I was like, I was on episode like 4 or 5, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be torture trying to explain this to him without visuals. And the podcast, that's not going to work because you guys can't see visuals. So I went ahead and sent him the link to the channel. There's only 10 episodes, 10 videos in the whole channel. It's really cryptic and super interesting. So, Regie, I'm going to let you kind of explain your perception of what was going through your head when you were watching this.
So it was about like 10 a.m. this morning, and you were like, hey, by the way, here's the videos we're going to be talking about. I need you to watch these. And I was like, okay. And of course, the first thing that I asked was just like, how long are they? And 2, are they safe for work? Because I can't just be watching crazy shit at my desk. And you're like, they're like 10 to 15 minutes each.
That was a lie too. They were like, so most of them are like
12.
There was some as short as like 2.5 minutes up to like, there was like one that was like 7 minutes, 4 minutes, but the longest one was about 15 minutes.
Yeah. And then you're like, yes, they are safe for work. And I was like, okay, cool.
Well, to my knowledge, I was only on episode 5 to that point.
Oh, yeah.
It just kept getting creepier.
It stayed safe for work. It was just weird because I was also doing work while kind of watching it at the same time and going back and forth. And so I was mostly just like, what are other people thinking? Like looking over my shoulder, just being like, what the fuck is he watching? But so it just started off, and it was just some guy was just like, okay, this is the game I was talking about, just to prove to you that it's real. You know, you just get like this old ass PS1 logo and all this other stuff come up, and then just the cute little screen that says Petscop. And I was like, oh, okay, so some guy just showing off, looked like some weird like Japanese import or something, and gets into it, and then he was like, but it looks like it's unfinished. And so I was like, oh, so you got like a weird like demo thing from somebody,
like a beta copy or something,
alpha,
and something like that.
And so I was just like, oh, I guess he was just chatting with some people about an unreleased game. But then the way he was talking about it made me sound like there was some weird fucked up shit in it, and he was like, I promise it's real. And so he goes through and it's all fine, and then he reads like a note that came with it that he got from somebody, and it gave him a code to put in. And then he's like, yeah, so you do this and everything on the inside of this building is fine, but then you go to the outside and it's completely different. It's all dark. You can't see really much of anything. And after wandering around for but he said he wandered around for an hour or so and never had found anything. But this time he went around 50 minutes, having to go a different direction, and found a door. And then so he couldn't open the door, and apparently he didn't want to turn it off because he's like, I don't know how to find this door again. and then he the door just opened on its own after several hours after playing a really creepy chime, and then he comes back and he's like, oh, okay, it's open now, and then starts exploring this like a little underground level, and then it just keeps getting like creepier and creepier and weirder, and there's a lot of moments of having to just sit and wait for things to happen. Like there's this weird like sentient, like to me it looks like a dildo or like a butt plug or something, but you click on it and it says ask, and you can apparently ask it any open-ended question, and of course it's not like if you just like, what was your favorite episode of Friends, it's gonna be like, oh, episode 31 from season 27. No, it has a default in case it doesn't recognize the question of I don't know, which he asks, just he clicks on it, it just says ask, and he goes, what? and then he types it in, what? And the thing just goes, I don't know. But then what was creepy is, so he did that, and he was like, okay, and just passes it, and there was a little like spot where he could look out onto something, and he clicks it, and it just shows a windmill. And he was like, okay, he like watched it for like 30 seconds and nothing happened. So then he like left. When he left, the text had changed above the little sentient thing, and it said
it's called the tool, by the way.
Oh, the tool.
It's a tool.
Yeah, it said keep watching
the windmill. Yeah.
So he was like, okay, that's weird, and so he went back and watched, which I mean, it's not out of the ordinary because there are games that are context sensitive. If you do something it triggers an event. Right.
Hint, yeah.
And so he went back and watched for a couple minutes, and nothing really happened. I mean, it made some like weird noises. It was just like a low like piano hit, just bung. But that was about it. And then so he keeps going through the game. He gets to this like weird mirror room, and like some weird shit happens. So he walks in, and then there's like everything is all the text that's on the floor is backwards, and on the walls is backwards. And then you get to a spot in the middle of the room where there's just like glass, and then it's mirrored, and there's another one of him,
a mirrored room,
but with the other him has like this weird like paper face on it, and so it mimics all his movements, of course, until it didn't, because some weird chime played, and then it was like he was moving, and it was like moving around on its own, but also trying to catch up to where he was, and then eventually it synced back up with him, and it never did it again. So that was really weird. And yeah, and so like, there's just, I don't know, like the whole windmill thing. He clicked on the windmill and just left it there just to see what would happen, because he went back to the thought of, well, it said keep watching the windmill. So he did, and after like 2.5 hours, like you saw something walk into the windmill, and then the windmill stopped and then started spinning the opposite direction. Right. And then you saw a thing like walk out and then kept walking around. I think it was supposed to be him, wasn't it? I don't know if it was his avatar that he was moving around, because it was moving around kind of sporadically, and I didn't know if it was him or not.
According to some theories, if I recall this correctly, Paul, the guy who's playing the game, got the game from someone else, which he talks to in one of the episodes. He talks to him on the phone, asking him what to do or something like that. Supposedly, I mean, this is just a theory, that that other being is a save state from the person who played before him. That's what they did. He's just seeing it when they did it. You noticed later he was following that thing around. Yeah. Supposedly that was the last person who played it, trying to show him what to do. You just go to this thing and you run around in circles and go to the next thing and run around in circles. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Marvin or something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So something like walks up, and then eventually the camera turns, and then it's like you see all these like school blocks, and it asks like, where is my house? And then they disappear, and then more come up, and they say, where is the school? And then it says, I will follow. And then but so it's weird, because I mean, you don't know what's going on. Like, you kind of never, at least as far as the videos got, nothing really has happened. He's like figured some puzzles out, I guess.
Right. But and we got to say the main thing you're supposed to be doing in this game is catching little pets, kind of like a Pokemon thing, but you catch them by like solving puzzles in a room, and you're supposed to like bring them home or whatnot. It's still even cryptic in that sense. It's like not, you don't quite understand what they mean by bring them home, or they want
like
home.
He catches like 3 in the first like 10 minutes of play, or the first like 3 minutes of playing, and then he doesn't see another one until that point, and by that it's like episode like 5 or 6 or something. And I mean, it's, I don't know. And then there's a bunch of like really cryptic text all the time, and there's this really cool like feature where you go into this room and there's a canvas, and you can build faces one piece at a time, and depending on the combination of the face you put in, it gives you a different room, which, by the way, once this happens, like there's a bunch of rumbling, you've got to wait like 10-15 minutes for the room to settle, and then you go into this little spot, and it's like generates a random children's room. Not random, it's assigned to each different face type, and so you've got to put in the correct faces or anything. But anyway, eventually it gets to one where there's, I guess, his wife, the character's wife is there, and I don't know, and it's just saying like, you know, like you'll find her, you know, you like, I know which like your daughter, or some talking about his daughter or something, and you're gonna find her, and whenever you do, you're gonna go up behind her, and you're gonna blow her brains out, and like just some weird stuff, and then it gets into like really kind of weird, super weird, cryptic kind of talk and speak, and like it's supposed to be a puzzle. And then it just keeps getting weirder, and then that tool thing randomly turns pink.
Right, and it's like an administrator type thing, and it gives you like different, more like tech-ish answers. I don't know. It's weird because it's also PlayStation.
Yeah, because the first time it turned pink, it just said, like, he was asking a bunch of questions that he figured out he could ask it. And then he got to one that he was going to ask. They said, "Who are you?" And the first time he did it, it just said tool. And so, but this time it turned pink while he was doing that. He asked, "Who are you?" And it didn't answer the question. It just said, "Turn PlayStation off."
Yeah, turn off your PlayStation.
And so that was like really like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like totally just like, what the hell is going on? And then he asked it, "Why turn off?" And it said, "Marvin hits me and it hurts me when PlayStation is on."
Yeah.
And so you're just like, what the hell is going on? Like, even he was just like, what the fuck? And then so, but then eventually it turned red again. And then it only answered standard questions. And it turned pink one more time. And he did ask it again, "Who are you?" And it didn't answer his question, but it said something else about Marvin, I think.
I think so.
And then he asked, "Who is Marvin?" or "Where is Marvin?" And I don't know. It gets really like I really, you should go look this shit up because it's really crazy.
It's
Petscop.
Petscop.
Petscop, all one word.
Yeah.
But I will say they censor out some stuff, which is weird, and they say "we," and I guess that's Paul and whoever's playing it, or does somebody else has found?
I think it's at that point. I think it's at that point. It's after he's talked to the other guy or whoever, and people are theorizing that the whole series is pre-recorded now. Like they played the whole thing, but they're releasing it at a certain time, so they've censored things that you don't need to see yet. I don't know. They kind of that kind of breaks the story for me of what's going on.
Yeah, it's really weird because the first time that they do it, they go into a children's room that belongs to Tiara.
I think it's Tiara, yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of the characters you're supposed to find. And there's something on the table, because every room there's just a table and a bed, and usually there's a child on the bed, but if it belongs to somebody that's a character in the game, there's no child on the bed. But with this one, of course, there was no child on the bed, but the table always had two objects, and it's usually something mundane, like a fire truck and a Rubik's Cube, or some Crayolas and like a robot, something really simple. But this time, there was I think it was was it a mini object of the tool, or was it just some weird red thing?
Most of the ones that you
were supposed to go
are people you're supposed to find in the game or whatnot, or characters in the game have a little cutout of the tool on their table.
Right, so that one had that, but then it had something else on the right side of the table that they, whenever, you couldn't see it far away because they had blacked it out, and then of course when I zoomed in, it was still blacked out, and it had the sensor box over it, and he was just like, you don't know what it is because he doesn't describe it, but he just says what is that? what is that on the table? I don't understand what that is. So clearly something weird. And then they had a couple other moments where they censored. They had, I know, he eventually gets to this room where there's like two presents. And there's a present without a sticker and a present with a sticker. The present without a sticker, he opened it up and it gave him a green key.
Right.
Which I don't know if he ever...
He never used it.
He has yet to use it. And then you get to he got to the other box and he opened it up and immediately it censored it. And you just see that...
It was like a big upside down pyramid, orange. I don't know. No one knows what it is yet. But
has someone seen it or described it, or did he?
No, it like he didn't censor the entire thing. Like just the edges, it was spinning.
Yeah,
so
you
it
could just
looked
see
like a
like
giant
the triangular engine. Yeah, but either way, as soon as he saw it, he was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah,
yeah, I was like clearly shocked by it. So I don't know what the hell it is, but got to be messed up. And they mentioned there was one other thing they were going to censor, but I don't know if they ever showed it in the videos.
I think it's supposed to be something on a chalkboard. Is what the note said, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, there was something written on the walls in chalk or something like that. And if it was there, they never mentioned it, or we just never saw it, because most of the videos are really dark. It's really hard to see what's going on.
I had so much trouble watching it on my phone, especially in the children's rooms, because you said there were people on the bed.
And I didn't know. It took me like putting it at a certain angle and really looking hard, and I was just like, okay. I think I see it.
Okay. So, now that you've given us the rundown.
Yes, James, please fill me in. It was so hard not to Google this shit.
I am about to blow your fucking mind, okay?
Okay.
So, the Dark World, do you remember what that was called?
The Dark World?
Yeah, where you had the Super Light World, the gift plane, and then you had...
the Maker plane.
Newmaker
plane.
Okay.
And then under that was just
Newmaker plane.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the theory. Well, I'm sure it has to be true. There's too much in common for it not to be true and totally fucked up and creepy. Okay. So we've been listening to a lot of murder podcasts lately. So when this story popped up on my radar, it seemed too perfect not to... Because it was nerdy, too, because it had to do with the video game. So here we go. Regie. Candace Elizabeth Newmaker, born Candace Tiara Elmore, November 19th, 1989, year after I was born, on April, and she lived through April 18th of 2000.
April 18th, that's my birthday.
Oh my God. She was a victim of child abuse, killed during a 70-minute attachment therapy session purported to treat reactive attachment disorder. The treatment used that day included a rebirthing script, during which Candace was suffocated. The story had international coverage. I didn't hear anything about it. Now, hang on. Here we go. There's more. Newmaker was born in Lincolnton, North Carolina.
Lincolntonsvilleburg.
To Angela and Todd Elmore. She and her younger brother and sister were removed from their home for neglect and separated by social services. When she was 5, her parents' parental rights were terminated. 2 years later, she was adopted by Jean Elizabeth Newmaker, a single woman and pediatric nurse practitioner in Durham, North Carolina. Within months of the adoption, Jean began taking Candace to a psychiatricist, complaining about her behavior and attitude at home. Though Candace was treated with medications, Jean reported that Candace's behaviors got worse during the ensuing 2 years, including supposedly playing with matches and killing goldfish. Now we'll talk about the attachment therapy. Candace and Jean Newmaker traveled to Evergreen, Colorado in April 2000 for a $7,000 2-week intensive session of attachment therapy with Colin Watkins. Upon referral from William Goebel, a licensed psychologist in North Carolina. Now, I just want to... it didn't really explain in this article what exactly attachment therapy is. What happens is... Jean wasn't getting the bond with her adopted daughter that she wanted, right? Because whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
So the attachment therapy is supposed to be a rebirth of some sort to get her to
naturally
want to attach to her adopted mother as if she was her regular mother.
Right. Okay.
It's nuts. And so are you seeing the parallels right now? The Newmaker tiara,
the tiara. Then they also talked about a rebirth.
Care in the game is supposed to be Candace. The theory is,
Yeah. And they do, and there was that question that was in the quitters room, which is the mirror room, and it said, do you remember being born?
Yes. And let's continue.
Oh man, this shit's so juicy.
Ooh man. Following the script for that day's treatment, Candace, this is where we're going into exactly what happened with the reattachment therapy.
Right.
Candace was wrapped in a flannel sheet to simulate a womb and told to extricate herself from it, with the apparent expectation that the experience would help her attach to her adopted mother. 4 of the adults used their hands, feet,
Foots,
and large pillows to resist all her attempts to free herself, while she complained, pleaded, and even screamed for help and air. Candace stated several times during the session that she was dying, to which Ponder responded, "You want to die? Okay, then die. Go ahead. Die right now." 20 minutes into the session, Candace had vomited and pooped herself. It said excreted, but I like the word pooped.
Of course, it makes everything a little bit lighter.
She puked and pooped herself in the sheets. She nonetheless kept restrained with inside. I can't talk. 40 minutes into the session, Jean asked Candace, "Baby, do you want to be born?" Candace faintly said, "No." This was ultimately her last word. To this, Ponder replied, "Quitter, quitter, quitter, quit. She's a quitter." Jean Newmaker was asked to leave the room. Candace's ability to be reborn was upsetting her, and she didn't want her to be in the room anymore, basically. Now, soon thereafter, Watkins requested the same of McDaniel, which was one of the psychotherapists, and Britta St. Clair, the other one that was helping hold her down. So she was left in the room with Ponder and Watkins. Now, after 5 more minutes, the two... Oh, hang on. I've lost my spot. Yeah. After talking for 5 more minutes, still, she's under the covers.
Mm-hmm.
After talking for 5 more minutes, the two unwrapped Candace and found that she was motionless, blue on the fingertips and lips, and not breathing. Upon seeing this, Watkins declared, "Oh, there she is. She's sleeping in her own vomit." Whereupon the mother, who had been watching in a monitor from the other end of the room, rushed inside and remarked on Candace's color, and began CPR while Watkins called 911. The paramedics arrived 10 minutes later. McDaniels told them that Candace had been left alone for 5 minutes during the rebirthing session and was not breathing. The paramedics surmised that Candace had been unconscious and possibly not breathing for some time. Paramedics were able to restore the girl's pulse, and she was flown by helicopter to the hospital in Denver. She was declared brain dead, and the next day she died of asphyxiation, or she died as a consequence of asphyxiation. The entire 70 minutes of the fatal session, as was the 10 hours of the session from the preceding days, were videotaped, and they were shown to, all the videos were shown at the trial. So, yeah. So this game is all about this, yeah. And there's a lot more. There has to be a lot more to it because there's so many more characters that didn't even touch. If you remember in the game, there's a gravestone that belongs to Michael Hammond.
Yeah.
Candace, it doesn't say in this, but I looked it up, and her little brother, which she talked about in the beginning, his name was Michael, not Hammond. I'm assuming that's from the new family he got adopted to, but I can't find anything on him. Don't know about the sister. But yeah, that was like, whoa.
Dude, I've got chills and shit, and I'm just
Like, but how insane?
Fuck.
The reattachment. That how insane is that?
Like that's like the game was creepy enough, and then you have this like dark fucking story behind this shit, and like, and this is saying something because one, I'm listening to it, and then two, for the last like 2 weeks, I've been listening to podcasts like My Favorite Murder and Last Podcast on the Left, and they've talked about some grisly shit, serial killers, and all sorts of crazy stuff, and like even just listening to this is just like still sends chills. Like,
I know. Like, oh my god.
I'm just like kind of like literally this is the feeling like my central part of my body, my chest and everything feels like frozen in terror, that kind of feeling.
Oh yeah.
Even though I can still move, but I'm like the whole time that you're like telling me about it, I was just like rooted to my seat, just like not saying anything, just listening and like constantly looking around thinking like what the fuck.
Right, but like,
oh my god.
I feel like, I mean, how ridiculous are they that after she vomited and shit herself, they didn't learn, like, okay, let's take a 5-minute break here for a second, you know, she's especially, and even then after she stopped moving, you figure you might be like, yeah, you move the cover a little bit, like, okay, she stopped breathing, we should probably stop this, you know, at some point before she fucking died.
Tell me that doctor lost his license, right?
Oh, they're in jail.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure they're all in jail.
Yeah, and how have I never heard of this?
I know, like, it's just, like, ridiculous.
That feels like it'd be one of those prolific things that you're just like, yeah, you know, you heard about that in the early 2000s? A girl got basically, like, tortured to death by a psychiatrist? Like,
oh, no, hang on, here we go. A year later, Watkins and Ponder were tried and convicted of reckless child abuse resulting in the death and received 16 years prison sentences.
Damn.
Which means they get out this year.
Holy shit. Maybe we'll get a few more rebirthing sessions.
I think, right? What did they get out? Yeah, because 2000. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking the year she was born. Like, no, that didn't.
Unless they got parole.
I don't know.
Which, if they're all psychologists, they probably had good behavior.
Oh,
so they probably.
Hang on. Here we go.
Oh.
Britta St. Clair and Jack McDaniels, the therapeutic foster parents, pleaded guilty to criminal negligent child abuse and were given 10 years probation and 1,000 hours of community service in a plea bargain.
Wow.
The adoptive mother, Jean Newmaker, a nurse practitioner, pled guilty to neglect and abuse charges and was given 4-year suspended sentence, after which the charges were expunged from her record. Whoa. Hang on. An appeal by Watkins against the conviction and sentence failed. Watkins was paroled in June 2008 under intensive supervision with restrictions on contact with children or counseling work, having served approximately 7 years of her 16-year sentence. Okay, so she got out in 2008.
That's crazy.
It's just reading this story. I'm amazed they all didn't get way more than that.
Oh yeah,
it baffles me.
That's nuts. And so somebody made a game based off of this?
Yeah. Well, at least that's a theory, but there's way too many parallels there for it not to be based off this event.
There's no way. Like, that's too big of a coincidence. Man. And then so the question is are the people who are making the videos, is that there's something they made as just a creepy thing to talk about the story, or did they legitimately receive this from a random person?
No. Supposedly the game was made by the person that was playing Let's Play, Paul, hand quotations, as a sort of an interactive creepypasta thing, an ARG or whatever it's called.
Yeah, an ARG sort of.
Kind of, so people are trying to unfold the mystery before it happens.
Yeah, like you said, like a real life interactive creepypasta.
Right.
Because most of creepypastas about video games is just a story about the game. It's not really like someone showing videos or something, you know?
Right, no.
And if there are, they're usually kind of like stupid. But this one's done really well. Yeah. Like, I was legitimately creeped out.
Yeah.
Like, even sitting inside full bright lights, surrounded by my coworkers, sometimes I would not want to look at the screen because I'd just be like, okay, what's gonna happen? Okay, it's so creepy.
Oh,
like, I was getting creeped out.
Something was gonna jump out.
Yeah. But man, like that. See, this kind of shit is cool. This is what I like. This is like I like finding stuff like this where it's like like real big creepy stuff. Like whenever I first found like marble hornets and that stuff, or like the Slenderman thing, like that was really creepy. And I've like stumbled in a few other just like creepy like horror video series where they feel very real. I've always been interested in the creepypastas, like the one where they like there's one about the Zelda cartridge, the haunted Zelda cartridge. Like that one's nuts.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that because I mean I know it exists and I've watched the videos on it before, but I need a refresher because
they're creepy.
I love Zelda.
And then of course there's the classic creepypasta about was it like Pokemon Black or something?
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, where it talks about the death of the Pokemon. I mean that one's really good too. But yeah, how did you find this?
It's from another YouTube channel that I watch, The Game Theorists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he covered it. Matt Pat covered that. And so I was like, because he had a weird thumbnail. It was just like the paper face from the mirror room, just in the middle, and it said, I forget what it said. Let me look at it real quick because it was creepy. Something about I said quitter, just black background, the face, and it just said quitter, and I was like, what?
How old is that video?
Just came out like this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this week.
I'm so surprised I did not watch it because I'm subscribed to MatPat. So
yeah, so it's there. You should definitely go watch that. But
yeah, I actually it may have been his. I don't know. It wasn't his. It was somebody else. Somebody else had made a like an analysis of it. And because I was watching the first one, and of course on YouTube they have the little like next button, and I was like, oh, it's 1 through 10 on a playlist. So I clicked that, and it actually went to the analysis, and I was like, oh no, go back. I don't want to spoil nothing. So I went back and just clicked on the video series channel. But I mean, I'm guessing they're not done with it, right?
Well, the theory right now, okay, so in the game, you get Care in LM. And you deposit it in the little brick house, and it says a little thing says she'll be here, and you have
up to 6 months to change your mind, otherwise she'll be gone.
Which goes towards the adoption thing and all that kind of stuff from the story. The theory, which doesn't make sense, is that he's waiting 6 months from the last video to see what happens, and he'll upload it once that 6 months is up to see what happened to Carol in LM. But why that doesn't make sense is because right after he deposited her, he immediately goes and puts in her face and goes back up to her room and reclaims her. So he has her now.
Well, that was Care A, right? That he got.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't done transformed her at all.
Did it say which one he picked up whenever he got her from the room?
Pretty sure.
I could have swore it was a different Care.
It might have been. I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, what's A and B?
They're just different, like less stressed versions of her. Because the A is just a normal girl, B is a little frazzled hair, and LM is just completely broken down, crying.
Yeah, because.
That's what people were saying.
What does NLM stand for?
There was I want to say Matt Pat had a theory about that, but I don't remember what it was.
I love Matt Pat.
Me too.
If you're hearing it, it's because I'm watching the video. See, it sounds all nice and like cute,
super happy.
Like right now, she just walking around this like pink building with the blue floors. And
you get nice little bleep bloops if you're walking.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get down to the Newmaker plane, just all the noise stops. It's just quiet and dark. You have a little illumination around you to see where you're going. But your feet don't make noise anymore. It's just silence. And it's creepy.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot about this. Like there was the thing whenever it said he asked what month it was to the tool, and it just showed a calendar.
Yeah.
It didn't say anything.
No,
else.
He couldn't get it to do anything else.
Yeah, and then I want to say, what was the last question he asked it? Where was the wind? What? Oh, where was the windmill? But I don't think it says anything, right?
No, I don't think it gives him anything. I don't know.
Oh, no, they censored it out.
Oh, is that what they censored out?
Yeah, they censored out that, and then the video just ends. Maybe it's Petscop 9. Ben Drowned is the Link creepypasta, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to find the point whenever he goes back into Care's room. Okay, come on. So he has Care NLM in his
Pokedex.
Yeah, like Pokedex. There's a little menu where he looks at all the pets.
Right.
There's also the weird text, like in the description of Care NLM, it says to catch her you had to lie, but it may not be alive forever. You're the Newmaker. You can take Care NLM into Care. You can turn her into Care A and close the loop. Don't know what that means.
Probably referring to breaking the cycle of abuse.
Yeah. So Care NLM's got to be the adoptable one, and then Care A is if everything goes well, she becomes this perfect little girl. Whereas Care B shows the silhouette shows more frazzled hair, so it's a little more stressed out, I guess.
I'm assuming A is Care or Candace when she was with her actual mother. B is in foster care, and NLM is towards the end of her life with the adopted mother, Jean.
So, yeah, he goes back into the room, finds her, and catches her, and then the video just ends.
Yeah, but it didn't say...
But it looks like the same exact one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because she still has her hands in her face.
On her face, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I thought I remember that correctly. So I don't think this... I mean, the 6-month thing may be correct. Maybe... Because there's some stuff he does off screen. Like, he'll just start a video and be like, okay, well, I did this, and, before, and now this happened, so here we go. Yeah. So maybe after the last video, he did redeposit her, and now he's waiting 6 months. Because, I mean, I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, I don't know. It's... I'm really curious as to what happens now.
I know. I want to know more.
I mean, the only thing that usually ends up happening with these things is that they're really creepy, and the people do really well at like continuing the creep factor. But then when you get to the end, it's always just a huge letdown. Yeah, so that's what I'm kind of nervous about. And what I would like is for it just to kind of end in a creepy fashion, and that's just it. Right. And not just like do a jump scare that would be fucking bullshit, or if they're just like, and everything's better, or just like, just like something really creepy and like demented happens at the end, and then just credits roll. Like, that would be perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been doing a real good job so far with keeping the creepy stuff up. I'm on the subreddit right now. Right. There's all kinds of theories on there. There was one. There's a character in the game. Name starts with an M, not Michael. Marvin?
There's Marvin and Michael. Yeah, Marvin is the weird little creature thing that he ended up following around at one point.
Yeah, there was... earlier today, I was kind of looking through to make sure I hadn't missed anything before I did this tonight. But there was some theory that at some point, Marvin actually kills Paul, the person playing. And so from like episode 5, Marvin is Paul playing the game. I didn't read any more because it didn't seem that plausible, but that's the kind of things you get,
because I mean, you're wanting it to like, okay, it's a real world context. You want it to just be these guys made a really good creepy game, but going into that realm, it turns into more of like an actual creepypasta and gets to be a little more fantasy, and so it just makes it a little bit more disappointing. But I really do hope at some point, like, it just turns the creep factor up by a whole ton and starts incorporating weird things, either from Paul's life or something, like the whole theory that it's someone else's save state that he saw wandering around the windmill. That's totally creepy and cool.
Yeah, totally awesome. There's all kinds of, like, because you don't get a lot of information, so people are just, imagination's just left to wander. So there's all kinds of crazy theories on here. Like, right now the big thing is the debate whether the series is done or it's not. Because a lot of people think that he's going to wait 6 months and see what happens to NLM. Other people are just like, it's done. He's not going to do anymore. He's just going to leave us hanging. Yeah,
because it's already been 2 months since the last video.
So they're projecting there's going to get another one around Christmas or sometime in December. There's one here that says Petscop isn't finished. Mike is the last pet.
Yeah, because it shows all the pets, but she still hasn't gotten the weird bird on a stick thing.
Which another theory is that the red bird in the beginning with the broken leg and the flower are two parallels to a real life people, I think, and supposedly they had a child, and that thing he hasn't gotten yet is the combination, is they're supposed to represent their child, because it's got the bird's head and like sort of a planty sort of
body. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because there's that one that he hasn't caught yet, and then of course there's care A and B, and then there's that just empty slot that he can still select. He can go to it and highlight it, so clearly it's not just a placeholder. So something is there. My guess is that at the end he'll be the last pet or something.
That'd be really weird.
That would be weird, but if they play it right, that'd be kind of cool. But there's a lot that can go with it, and I hope it's not over, because it sucks to like see projects like this come up, or like really cool things like this come up, and then people just stop. Like, at least commit to finishing it. Like, there was one that there was a video series that I watched. There was like a little mini series about a bunch of kids who are going to play a game, and they each got put in their own like little boxes, and it was like underground, and they had to work together to like figure out puzzles to try to get out of there in like 100 days or something. And it was done by this small little like college group, and it took them like 2 or 3 years to finish it, because they did a lot of episodes at once, and then they kind of ran out of funding. Then they did Kickstarter, and they got more, and eventually they finished it. And I'm glad they committed to finishing it, because it was kind of worth it. The end was a little blog. It felt rushed, but it was fun to watch. And so, I would have been really disappointed if halfway through that they just stopped. They didn't have the commitment, the passion to finish it. So, yeah. But man, that's really fucking dope.
Oh yeah, like I said, once I actually finished watching the video, and then I realized what we need to do this episode. I just clicked. I was like, oh my god, which all the creepy horror stuff we've been doing lately.
Right.
I was just happy to find something that was also nerdy, so we could bring it in, and I could really creep you out. And I'm glad it was a surprise. I'm glad.
Yeah. I enjoyed this. This was really cool. You should find more stuff and then explain it to me.
Well, see, that's the thing. When I got this idea, I was like, maybe I should save this for October, so we can have more
we've
like
got
Halloween
plenty
episodes.
of ideas and things to do in October.
But that's what I was thinking. Like we have enough ideas for October, and this is relevant now.
Right.
So I really wanted to, just bring it in, and so I really like this.
No, it was cool. Yeah. I was creeped out at work, and then even listening to the story, like horrified. It was good. So I would suggest, if you have never heard of this, or you haven't really gotten into it or anything, go watch the 10 videos first before you watch anything else. And then after that, I would probably suggest video game theorist Matt Pat, watch his analysis on it. I mean, you search Petscop, it's like the second video that shows up.
Oh yeah. Just go to the channel,
and of course you can check out the subreddit for all the crazy other theories,
and all the other analysis videos. I haven't watched anything else, because I didn't want it to kind of skew my view of it. I watched Matt Patson, he introduced it to me, and then I went back and watched all the original videos,
right,
and then I actually read the story of the murder, a child abuse. It's a murder. They murdered her.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's so creepy.
But I want to, like, it's weird to think.
Is it fucked up if I kind of want to watch those videos?
Yes. No, it's not. No.
It's just that morbid curiosity. Like, what if they integrated those videos into the game? That's what they're censoring.
What freaks me out is that clearly Michael Hammond is Candace's little brother references. That's too obvious, but no one can seem to find any sort of story on him.
Right.
I couldn't, and I kind of went over the subreddit, and I didn't.
It says he's dead, right?
Yeah, that's what he says, but I couldn't find anything.
To 2000.
Yeah, I looked at anything from Michael Hammond from those years. I also looked for Michael Elman, which was their Elmore, their maiden name. So, or the main name they had before they got adopted. I didn't find anything.
Yeah.
So how does Paul know about this stuff?
Right, and then like, There's also the weird text that you get whenever you catch. It's the broken-legged bird. When you catch it, it has like this really long text description talking about like running over a dog and wanting to put it out of its misery, but nobody else would let him, and all this other stuff. But like the text runs so long, it runs off the page, and then it says something else, and it just starts repeating text over and over and over again, and it's really weird. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, clearly, like I'm. Now that I know this, I'm going to watch MatPat's video, watch his theories on it, and I want to go back through the videos and try to rewatch it and catch all the things and try to figure out what all the text is referring to. Because, man, that's really well done. Like, and this is a good way to take something that's like a real life story and then like twist it in a way to make it even creepier. You know? And it's just like,
because it gives it to you in a way that you don't think about until it's happening, and then you're like, wait a minute. Well, because you're having a good time in a like a beta version game, like, oh, let's find all these weird glitches and stuff,
right?
And the glitches are really serious.
Yeah, and it's like really dark and shit. Oh man, like I want to play this, and when I say I want to play this, I mean I just want to watch this guy finish it.
Yeah, I don't want to
never play this.
No,
I feel like it'd be one of those things where it just be like it'd give you like a ghost virus in your computer, and you just have crazy shit happen to your computer all the time, be creep you out.
Yeah, you think you just have on your shelf, and when people ask you what it is, like, shut up, don't ask about that. We don't touch that.
Yeah.
Can I play it? No, you can't.
If it ever leaves my house, it'll burn down.
No.
Oh god. Yeah.
Burst into flame.
So I have to keep watching this shit.
I know.
For sure.
I subscribe to Petscop, so I'll know when a new video comes up.
Right.
I gotta turn the bell notification on because I'm gonna freak out. Like, cause it's gonna be like months from now, and I'm gonna kind of forget about it, and all of a sudden it's gonna pop up. I'm like, oh god. Oh.
Yeah, and then we'll give you guys the update.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, that's not.
If you aren't already watching, why wouldn't you be watching this?
Of course.
This is nuts.
I mean, we're so influential.
I know.
You know? No, but anyway, so to kind of move on.
Yeah.
This topic a little bit. We are finally back to our workout schedule.
Yes, we are.
It has been a month, and I apologize about that, but I fucked up my wrist. Really couldn't help it. I'm at a point now where I can do most of the exercises except for one. It's just the tricep pull downs. If I can't do them by the end of the week, I'll just find another way to do tricep exercises. But everything else is good. I was talking to James about it earlier. It felt so good to get back into exercise. And like I was really thinking like I kind of was halfway putting it off, and then I was like, you know what? No, just fuck it. I'll just go do it. And
jump in.
I made myself do it, and it felt so good. It felt nice. Like I thought I was gonna feel like shit afterwards, but no, I felt fine. And yeah, it just feels nice to be like, it makes, I don't know, for some reason it just makes you feel a little bit more responsible about yourself, you know?
Yeah. You're taking care of you.
Yeah, you know? And then so like everything felt really good. I'm sure I'll be a little bit sore, especially with my biceps and my legs tomorrow a little bit, but I don't think I'll be as sore as if I was starting out brand new, because if you took a month off, that's not that long. It's, you know, if you take like 6 months off, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we'll just keep doing it. I will, disclaimer, I'll be sticking to the diet, but not super strict. So I'm not going to, you know, we had laid it out where this is what I eat for lunch, this is what I eat for dinner. I pretty much ate that 5 days a week, every single week. And so I'm going to be a little bit more relaxed on it, just because, like, I mean, there's a reason why we skipped a week. It's because we're really busy. I'm both busy at work and then also trying to do the podcast. And then there's just other things that we're taking care of. Like next week, I'm going to go see my brother. And, you know, just there's little things here that we're doing that takes up a lot of our time. And so it's not always an option for me to be like, let me cook full meals. But for the most part, I think lunch will be easy for me to stick to. And then, you know, on days whenever, like, if I like can only take certain things to lunch and I don't have a meat, I'll just come home and cook and then eat the meat that I was supposed to eat at lunch. I'll just eat it at dinner. Right. Sure, I'll have a bigger dinner. It'll be a little hard for me to get down. But even if I have to eat a little bit before the workout, and then eat a little bit after, that's fine.
You get the protein anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah. And so, you know, this is just kind of a see what effect kind of straying from the diet, and not saying strictly it does. Not saying that I'm going to go out and eat like greasy burgers and Taco Bell and Sonic and all that.
Right.
But just more of a, I'm not going to be a Nazi during the week. If I miss having vegetables one day, that's fine. Or if, a couple of days I just decide to only eat like half of the protein, just so that way it seems more like a normal diet.
Right.
Which I'm sure, like, when it's all said and done, that's probably what I'll settle more into, is it'll be a healthier diet, but it won't be super strict like it was during the trial phases,
Right.
And so it'll be kind of an indicator of like, well, this is what you can expect during that time. And so I will say it's been super nice because I have been getting compliments from people saying you look thinner, which is amazing. That's exactly what I'm doing. High five to that shit. Yeah. So of course my mom is gonna be like, oh, you look so good, but she hadn't mentioned that I look thinner. I didn't have my belly as much. And then my cousin, who I only ever see like once every like month and a half or so, he had mentioned, he was like, oh, you look a lot thinner than normal. And I was like, no, thank you. And of course your wife the other day, she was just like, Reggie, you look so thin today. And I'm just like, oh, so nice. Thank you. Other people even at work have been like, yeah, I can tell your workout thing is working out for you. No pun intended.
Right.
Okay, a little bit intended. But yeah, like you said, you had went to a birthday party, right?
Yeah, and one of our friends, she had a birthday party obviously last year too, and we went to that, and she had pictures from that. She couldn't find them at this birthday party, but she made it a point to bring it up that she was looking at those a few days ago, and realized that she actually wanted to compliment me that I lost weight. She could tell from just a year ago, mainly in my face, which Morgan had brought that up a few weeks ago, that I look thinner in the face. We need to push that down to the stomach area.
Right.
But
that's always the hardest spot.
But it's getting there, and it's nice. And it was nice to get an unsolicited compliment. Both those were unsolicited, really. Our friend and Morgan. So it feels real good. It does.
It's nice. That's exactly what I was wanting, and I can't wait for the day whenever like I get kind of built enough that people go like, oh, wow, like, yeah, you look buff. And I'll be like, I know, baby, what's up?
Thank you.
And be like, you shouldn't talk to your boss that way. Be like, I'm sorry, baby. You're fired. Please don't fire me.
Come on, baby.
Come on, baby.
What if I flex?
What if I just hit all them poses and then I get my job back? Not really. I just get kicked out.
Yeah, they call security.
Yeah. So, and we do have security.
Yeah, and they come in flexing. I'm bigger than you,
and I'm old.
Shit.
And there are a lot of old white guys on our security. I don't know what they would do, but I guess they have tasers. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't outflex a taser.
No, not at all. It will flex all of your muscles for you, real hard. But yeah, no, it is nice to see the results. So it's just showing everyone that you just stick to it a little bit. The results. I remember that's only 1 month, 4 weeks. That's it. That if you think about it that way, if you just break it down 4 weeks. That goes by really quick, and especially if you're as old as James and I. Which I mean, we're not that old. We're in our 20s, but I mean, I really think that by the time I hit like 24, 25, time started going by a lot quicker for me. So like now, like I'm just like, wasn't it just the beginning of August, and now it's fucking September? It feels like just a couple of weeks ago I hurt my wrist, and now it's just like, no, it's been a month since I've been able to work out.
Right. Yeah.
And so if you think about it, that if time's going by for you like that, and especially if you're invested in something like this, it's going to go by super quick. I mean, that really first month went by like it went from being like, hey, we're starting this thing to like, oh my God, we get to interview Mike. And then we interviewed Mike, and then it was so great. And so now I'm really excited to see what the second month will do for us. We already have our numbers from the end of the first month. And then, we'll be able to see what it's all about. In the second
the numbers real quick?
Yeah, sure. Do you have them?
Yeah, I have them. Of course I have them. I'm so proud of these numbers. Okay, so first of all, I want to point out that you're going to see a big difference in our results from person to person. And the theory behind that, we talked about this in the update video, so go watch that if you want to see the full process. But I'm doing the home version, and Reggie's doing the more equipment in gym version, and mine involves a lot more cardio, which about 2 weeks in, we started with this theory that I'm going to end up losing more weight, or really losing more everything than Regie is, because mine is more based on cardio and his is more based on weights. So turns out our theory was true. I went down almost full 5% body fat. I went down 2 waist sizes, I think, and I lost almost 10 pounds in 1 month. We did all of our measurements like we did at the very beginning, with our waist and our triceps and all that kind of stuff, shoulders, legs, that kind of thing, and every single one of mine went down. Now, even with the exercise, which we expected. We did. I didn't expect... I expected my weight to go down a lot more and my body fat to go down a lot more, but I kind of expected some of my measurements to go up a little bit, or at least stay the same, because I was doing the exercises. But all of them went down. But I feel like that's a big part... it has to do a lot with my diet, with our diet, with staying with the 1,500... calories, even with my exercise. Actually, my exercise probably helped more with all of it going down,
because you're burning more
I'm
calories
burning all this. I'm burning the yeah. Now, Reggie, I'll let you go over what I don't know if you need that or not, but you can kind of go over
my numbers and why they're different.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, James probably already mentioned why we think they're different.
Right, I have.
Which is that, his is more cardio, mine's more muscular kind of oriented. There's not a lot of like heart pumping
lifting,
shit that's going on.
A lot more lifting.
Yeah, it's really focused on the muscles. And so like my numbers, they went down in the areas that mattered, but they also went up or stayed the same in the areas that we thought they would too.
Right.
So like my waist went down. Where are my old numbers?
Your old numbers are on my phone.
Well, anyway, I went about on inch and a half or something, maybe 2 inches.
Yeah, you fluctuated. Yeah,
it went down a little bit. My thighs went down, which made sense because we really didn't have a ton of leg exercises. Like I had the squats that kind of did it, but that was the squats were basically just enough to like work fat off.
Right.
If I was doing like instead of squats, if I was doing like what are those called whenever you sit down flat on your back and you push up against weight?
I have no idea.
Anyway,
I don't do weights, Reggie. I do home exercises.
Whatever those are called, somebody will eventually let me know. If you do something like that, that's going to work out your legs. Or if you do like leg lifts or something, you're working out the muscle to build it. But squats is just enough to basically tone and get rid of fat. So it makes sense that those went down. But then my biceps went up, and they went up by a lot more than I thought they would. I think it was like a ½ inch each or something, right? Yeah. Which is crazy to me, because it's not like I'm ingesting shit tons of protein and eating like 2,500 calories or anything. But yeah, and then my shoulder width, so James's shoulder width actually went down, but mine stayed the same. And so that makes sense along with what we're talking about which is that my exercise routine was basically doing an even trade of fat for muscle. I was building muscle but losing that the equivalent amount of fat at the same time, which is what the whole clean bulk thing goes for. And there are some people who are out there and they'll be like, there's no such thing as a clean bulk. That's impossible. You have to do dirty bulks. It's the only way. You have to build up tons of muscles and fat because you have to eat a shit ton of stuff and then you cut. And it's like, yes, there are people who prefer to do that because it's easier to bulk up that way because you don't have to really watch what you eat. Just don't eat garbage.
Right.
Just a lot more carbs. You do a dirty bulk and then you cut. And okay, that makes sense. That's fine. But I think clean bulks are possible because one, that's clearly what I've been doing. It's just I think people don't consider them real because it's a lot slower. You're not going to gain 20 pounds of muscle in 3 months doing a clean bulk because your diet is balanced enough that you're not gaining a lot of fat. You're actually losing it, but your muscle still is building slowly over time as long as you keep pushing yourself. So clean bulks are good. Just expect slower results.
Right.
You
Slow
know.
and steady wins the race.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, everyone wants their results to be instant. Everyone wants to just like, okay, I'm just gonna diet for 2 weeks, exercise for 2 weeks, and I'm gonna look a lot better.
No.
I mean, if it was like that, there wouldn't be an exercise industry out there.
No.
People wouldn't be making millions off of teaching people how to do this stuff, because everybody could just get up for 2 weeks in a year, go ride a bike for those 2 weeks, and then come back looking like, like the Wolverine or some
Right.
shit. I mean, that would be amazing, and human metabolism would have to be like miraculous, but I mean, we're kind of the apex predator in a way, but I mean, we would literally be the apex predator if we were able to do that shit. So these things take time. You just have to get in that mindset of, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to get there. Just keep that end goal in mind while you're doing it.
Always keep your goal in mind.
And things get easier as you go along, and they become a part of your lifestyle, and you eat healthier, you feel better about yourself, you have more energy. I mean, we talked about this with Mike, so you should go check that episode out.
Yes, episode 9.
Yes, watch it.
Or listen to it wherever you're at.
Yeah, we'll listen to it. I mean, you can watch it on YouTube. There's not really much to watch. I mean,
no,
but still, yes.
The only thing you're watching is where else to listen to this podcast.
Right? Yeah. So, but yeah, seriously, just take your time. Just keep it in mind that, one, think of how proud of yourself you'll be if you do it for just 3 months.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, by the time you get to 3 months, shit, do 6 months. Don't stop there. Might as well just go to a year, 2 years. I mean, 1 year of exercise on a person, even if they're not pushing like crazy hard, like bodybuilder hard, can make a huge difference. Oh yeah. Especially if you're a lot bigger, then yeah, you're gonna see a major result. But anyway, enough of that. We're just saying, the results that we got were actually surprising. I thought I was not going to move anywhere because my weight stayed the same. But after looking at the results, it made me feel much better, because it just like spoke to how well it was working, and it was working in the ways that I really wanted it to. And of course now, like, I look a lot thinner. I like that I can like look in the mirror, and then like my gut doesn't stick out further than my chest. And there's also a little bit more definition now, and like my shirts actually, surprisingly, like the sleeves on my shirts, especially on some shirts, do feel a little tighter, and it actually feels really nice. Like, normally you think like, oh, I don't want a tight sleeve, I want it loose, but it's just like, it's nice to just like pick something up, and just like on some shirts it'll just be really tight on my bicep, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that feels so good. So
see, but mine sucks right now because I'm in between belt loop sizes.
Oh yeah,
I'm not quite.
So one's too loose, one's too tight.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm on the one that I'm at where when I started this whole thing, and it's loose and it's almost uncomfortable. But if I go one tighter, it's uncomfortable the other way. Like, it's a little too
digging
tight
into your waist.
Yeah.
And by the time you take it off at the end of the day, you just got this red line around your waist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have to suck it up and just have loose shorts because I still have circulation.
But it's better to have loose shorts than have tight ones, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
No, there are even some shorts right now that I probably couldn't have worn at the beginning of the whole thing, but now I can wear. They're a little tight, but at least I can wear them.
Yeah, actually, I have pants that I bought when I was a little lighter, about a year or so, 2 ago, something like that. And right before we started this, I remember trying them on, and I could not zip them. There was no way I couldn't zip them, couldn't button them. It was gonna break them. Right. And the other day, I
break them or break you, either one.
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah.
The other day, we were going out to do something, and I hadn't done laundry. So I had to go and search for some, because all my pants were from way back when, and none of them fit me. There's like 2 or 3 pair that I can wear right now. And I found those pants, and I'm like, let's give it a shot. Let's just be disappointed real quick and just do this.
Fucking worked.
I had to squeeze a little, but
at least you could. But more than what you could do.
But I could zip them and I could button them.
Yeah.
It felt great.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now I want to go through all my old pants.
That's the results that you need to look forward to.
Exactly.
Man, think about the day when you don't have to buy a XXL. Taco, that is. XXL burrito from
I'll always get that.
They still make those? They don't make those
I don't think
anymore.
they did. No, they just XX grilled stuffed burritos.
Maybe.
They call it I always call it grilled stuffed burrito.
I don't know. Taco Bell's menu changes all the damn time. I don't even know what's on
there. Why can't they make
anymore.
up their mind?
It's the worst. I got one by my house that's like a mix of KFC and Taco Bell. So then it's just like all the Taco Bell stuff is just smushed into a very tiny spot, and I can't tell where anything is. It's the worst.
Yeah, my go-to is the grilled stuffed burrito. When they first introduced it, it was just called the grilled stuffed burrito.
Right.
And now it's XL grilled stuffed burrito. So when I go and order it, I just say grilled stuffed burrito, and they're like, so you want the XL grilled stuffed burrito? I'm like, whatever, just give me the damn thing.
I just want
put that in my face.
A tortilla with some meat in it in my mouth, okay?
Yeah, just give me the guac. It's not extra here.
It's not real guac, okay? It's just mayonnaise colored green, but I need it in my mouth.
Fine with it. Ugh.
But
I want to hate myself now.
So yeah, and we have some more things in the works.
Oh, soon.
Yeah, the next episode, I believe.
Hopefully.
Yep, next episode will be...
It has to be, if we're doing it, it has to be the next episode.
Yeah, so the next episode is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Totally different. I mean, we're going to be out of formula from whatever formula we're at right now.
Because, wait, this episode is going to release not this Tuesday.
Oh, snap. Hang on, let me
It'll be next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So...
Uh-oh. Are we screwed? Hang on. So
maybe this is actually episode 12.
No, it's 11. This is 11.
It has to be 11?
It has to be 11, because, yeah.
But...
Mike is 9.
No, we have an episode releasing tomorrow. That's not this one.
No, it's not this one. Tomorrow's is 10. This is 11.
But so 11 is going to be releasing the week.
Today's the 28th. Tomorrow's Tuesday is the 29th.
Right.
And then the next Tuesday, oh gosh, is the 5th.
Which, that Friday...
is the 8th.
Which is when our other thing is going to start.
Right.
So if we want the next episode to line up before that one...
Mm-hmm.
Because when are we going to release that one?
This will have to go out on the 5th. Unless we want to release it next week.
We'll figure it out. This may be 11th. This may be 12th. We'll figure it out.
Who knows?
Either way, hope you enjoyed it. And we will see you guys next week, maybe?
Maybe.
I mean, not in terms of like we're going to skip another week, but just we have no idea when the fuck this episode is going to come out. So we'll see you whenever in the future. How about that?
All right, yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.